Hi, we're here at Felly Priory in Nottinghamshire, and this is an absolutely stunning garden, steeped with lots of history. It goes way back to the 12th century, it's got bits of Tudor, and it's a fabulous garden. It's a real sort of combination of the formal times of the Tudor times and before that, and some lovely informal planting. It's also got an incredible amount of rare plants here, so it's really one that you need to visit, and we'll take a look, take a little tour around to give you a bit of an idea of what's here, but I do recommend this to pop along and to see it. So that's Felly Priory in Nottinghamshire. And within this garden it's got a beautiful blend of rock plants. You can see here some lovely sort of sedums there on the far side, but it links into a beautiful old stew pond. The garden goes way back to sort of the 12th century, and you can see here we've got reducias, there's some pickerel weed there, Aurelia Cordifolia, just on the far side. Look at that lovely blue, and to the right there we've got some Peltiphyllum. There's some lovely Aurelia Cordifolia, or the Aurea type, and then you come down and there's an absolute peach of a plant, Eucomis. You just don't see that very often, and it's such a beautiful plant. Look at that, really nice Eucomis, and some more just over there in full flower. And then as we spin round into the border, you've got this sort of lovely old allium, Cernuum, the little purple allium. There's digitalis, there's some hydrangeas at the back there like Annabelle. There's Japanese anemones, which are looking really good. More reducias. There's a lovely little hydrangea, lace cap type at the back. And then you've also got some lovely sort of tree there, a cherry, and then you've got the lovely Eucryphia. Look at that sort of evergreen tree there, Eucryphia, beautiful, with the viburnum back left and a magnolia that's there. There's some beautiful magnolias in this garden. So here we've got the lovely veratrum. Look at that flower head. So that's a veratrum, and beautiful plant there to have in the garden. And we've got cornus as well at the back, I can see. So you can see here we've got that lovely Aruncus sylvester. Just working my way through, going through some peonies. There's a ringium there, Agaveifolia. Moving across here, that's an interesting plant. I think that's another Eucryphia, looking at that. And then we've got one of the sort of Scottish type roses. We've got on the end here a daisy bush, Aurelia, looking good. And on the end there we've got hydrangea villosa type aspera, looking great. Not to mention the beautiful hydrangea Annabelle with a lovely little Brunnera underneath it. Beautiful little Brunnera ground cover, which is doing well in this drought. So lovely collection of plants here, and some beautiful textures. As I look up here, the peonies are just providing some beautiful architectural foliage, and as we come round you've got a good stand of irises. Nice contrast with evergreen yews, which will have been here a long time, probably way back to when the abbey started, contrasting with magnolias and graceful Philostachys. So a nice mixture here. Very nice mature Cercis forest pansy there. Beautiful colours in that. Another little cornice tucked away in front of it. Looks really good. And look at this beautiful archway leading into that lovely topiary. Fantastic pergola beyond. Just look how well that shrub has been layered. That cornice has been layered absolutely beautifully. Look at that. It's just like a sort of almost like a wedding cake or cloud kind of tree in a way, but beautiful the way the branches are layered. There's a really lovely mix here of sort of alpine features And in this area you can see we've got the Aurelia Cordifolia at the back, some nice euphorbias to the left, and then you have a whole mixture of things. You've got this little dwarf conifer here, a little Chamaecyparis in the middle, you've got a little pink, and so there's a whole mixture here on this little scree area. It's a beautiful Hydrangea Cordifolia here, and above it is a Magnolia Sprengerii, really nice. And then a lovely little arch feature here put into the top of that stone wall, which takes you through into a slightly more wilder area. Beautifully clipped sort of hedges, and then into this what looks like a Zelkova to me. Beautiful terrain. We'll just get a close-up of the leaves so we can try and identify that and make sure we get that one accurate. Here you've got beautiful mixtures, lovely Polygonatum striatum, they're the variegated Solomon seal. There's Peonies fruticosa in behind it, beautiful Acer above it, and then that linking in to lovely Hydrangea Annabelle to the right. And there's lots of these beautiful little features tucked away. Look at this old door with the hinges hanging off, lovely big lintel, lovely fern there just to highlight, Dryopteris just to highlight the entrance. And you go through and you've got that Agapanthus greeting you, and we come through, and it's a sense of curiosity as you come through, and mystique, and it's quite a beautiful area. We're coming to a fantastic rose garden with this lovely old magnolia underneath it. So this is one of Delav's, Magnolia delavia, and look at it, it's a beautiful magnolia. Then look at that lovely stand of Agapanthus, agape, love, unconditional love, and the bees are working it well. And we've got a good collection of old-fashioned roses in here, and it's compartmentalized by a beech hedge, and that looks really good. Got some interesting ideas here, some interesting metal sort of kind of obelisks, and just to provide a framework to grow plants up. And here again, quite a basic structure, but look at how well that clematis is scrambling up there with that climbing rose. Feature, you can see you've got a kind of a bit of metal work crossing over, a little bit of twisting of the metal, but it makes an interesting feature to sort of support those roses in the middle. Looking into here at the ends with a bit of Lysimachia, Clathroides. There's some Peonies in there again, so good mixture. Looks like could be a Robinia at the back there. Beautiful Rosa de Recht, and you come up to it and you can smell it. Absolutely fabulous smell on de Recht. Lovely old-fashioned rose. Here we got a beautiful snakebark maple. Could be Davidii Hersii. Fantastic specimen tree this is. And there's a whole host of fantastic trees as we look around, and then you come into this formal area. Got that beautiful contrast of formal and informal, and behind me is a beautiful Sequoiadendron giganticum, the giant redwood, and then to the left of that we've got a lovely Persian ironwood, the Parotia persica, great plant, and a lovely little fuchsia at the base of that wall, and then what looks like a little Photinia just climbing up there, and that terminates in Hydrangea villosa type. Let's go and have a look inside this little formal area with these lovely clipped hedging here inside this one. Beautiful paving, basket weave, alternating 90 degrees, two one way, two the other way. We've got phlox, we've got, of course, Gypsophila, Astrantia, lovely white Astrantia. Again, we've got Veronicastrum, lovely white Veronicastrum. We've got some lovely Cleomes, the lobster plant. and it's a beautiful little area. The very popular Selenium wallachiana. It looks a bit like a cow parsley, but a very interesting plant. Yeah, really good collection of plants in here. Nice and simple, repeated through the 4 quadrants, and then we've got these very simple seats on one of the sort of parts of the cross. So the middle is planted up with a little dwarf cistus. There's some really unusual plants in this garden. There's a beautiful clerodendron there, pink diamond. The hellebore, Cordifolia at the back. Some really upright digitalis there. We can see. So really good, rare plants. Another little rose of pimpernellifolia, one of the Scottish roses. And then we move into hydrangea. Nice lace cap one like the Velosa types. And then more what looks like a cornice at the back. And as we kind of look around the garden, we can see over here a lovely phlox border. At the back here we've got these incredible magnolias, macrophylla, large leafed magnolia. What a fabulous plant that is. Here you can get an idea of the topiary. Look at that, stunning, with these sort of finials created into the topiary. You can see parts of the old abbey and different sort of sections built on. So you might go back to the 12th century, you got a Tudor part. Obviously a great big Magnolia grandiflora on the far side there, looking good. And as I look around, I can see an absolute fantastic clerodendron trichotomum here. Look at this, brilliant, in full flower. That will be fruiting really strongly into the autumn. And just look how good that hydrangea there looks next to that beautiful opening. So there are 2 fabulous herbaceous borders in this garden, and again dominated with we've got to start with Eupatorium, going into a lovely Achillea here at the bottom, phlox, cosmeas, and just looking at the rest of the border here, I can see we've got some Aruncus at the back. There's some centurias right at the very back there. We've got some monarda at the front, so that little purple one there, monarda, and then we've got some sort of agastaches, and then looking around there's some beautiful eryngiums just at the bottom here, looking really good, and lovely Lilium regale type at the bottom with an Edwardian lutein's bench. Got Nepeta tarmassica in the middle there. Fantastic. And we've got one of the gardeners, we've got Linda there watering, keeping everything nice and fresh and watered, keeping it alive in this hot weather. Fantastic. Wow, we've got this incredible Aurelia Cordifolia in the middle here, and it's absolutely buzzing with bees and flies and goodness knows what. They love it. Looks like a sort of an ivy flower as well, or fatsia flower. Beautiful plant though, really just sets that border off really nicely. So just looking up the border here, we've got some beautiful topiary. That's quite unusual, having those 2 little pieces at the top there facing each other, a little castellated second tier, and then of course we've got the obelisk. And again, this beautiful bit of box hedging around it, and a lovely kind of salvias inside that. It looks fantastic. A really rich phlox on the end of this border, looking really, really good. Beautiful little sort of archways you can go through. It really makes this garden appear bigger, and there's a lovely contrast here. Look how well that beautiful topiary there against the wall of the old abbey. This softens that. Perfect landscaping. Lovely old-fashioned roses. Fantastic old bay there growing up the front. And again, the softening of that front part of the building is really, really good. And then, of course, you've got Nicotianas, you've got hellebores, salvias. It looks really good. So we've got a beautiful abutilon just growing up the front of the abbey there, and an elangian. That's a new one on me. But I do know that beautiful Crangashoma palmata underneath it, and Tricertes as well, looking good. There's a nice sort of Corylus purpurea, purple hazel, and then look at this old pear tree that's growing up the front of it. It's a fantastic one. It's called the Jargonal pear, right up the old abbey. That's been there some time, and look, it's still producing fabulous fruit. This lovely fuchsia here in Cleandra, like the microphylla type. We've got the fabulous Magnolia grandiflora in full flower. Look at that up the building. Looks absolutely stunning. Have a little close-up of the flower there. We've got Melianthus major, the peanut butter plant. They've even tucked a Nandina domestica, a Chinese sort of lantern bush in there. Lots of lilies. Old mulberry, Morris nigra, the black mulberry. And so we've got this lovely stilted hedge, which looks like one of the ornamental thorns. And as we look around here, we go into another area where again it's stunning. I can see what looks like a lovely angel's rod there, Dirama, Pelchurma. Really nice, more hydrangeas there. And there's a whole assortment of salvias, beautiful salvias. And we've got a lovely peony at the back there. And so after the angel's rod, we've got what I thought was a calycanthus. It's a cynocalycanthus. What a beautiful plant that is. Very unusual, very rare. We've got a beautiful stilted hedge here of Cretaceous, and looks really good, and it's a thornless one. I can see the fruits just starting, but this really sets off the whole garden, and it's in keeping with that particular era. Just stepping down into the next terrace, again this beautiful arch, and look at the quality here of the topiary is absolutely really good. Look at the finish they've got on the topiary, the heads, the peacocks there, display right to the nose. It really is absolutely brilliantly done. Some beautiful shapes there. Pyramid. We've got that lovely layered bit of topiary to the right in tiers, and then we've got this old pergola on the next terrace, which I love it when they build them out of brickwork. Here we've got a brick and a half, and again these lovely old rafters over the top, and we've got Akebia quinata, we've got roses, we've got clematis, we've got a lovely little seat there at the end, crayfocal point, but it's beautifully enclosed. And then we swing round, and again it's similar on the other side, except we've got the purple vine on the other side, but it looks really good. This is Aesculus chinensis. Just look at that compound palmate leaves. They look really, really good. It's a beautiful, elegant tree, but again, one you won't see very often. So I hope you enjoyed the tour of Felly Priory. If you liked the tour, please click the like button and subscribe to the channel and click the notifications, and we'll notify you of other sort of tours, pruning, construction and horticultural related content. So but if you get the chance, why not pop over? And it's got a tea room as well. Might just pop into the tea room now, and a good selection of cakes, a good sort of plant sales area, so definitely worth a visit. So why not come along? Look at this old